I welcome you to my channel, Laser Graphics and Multimedia. My name is Rafi Yakub right here, and in today's video, you're going to learn how to create modern business card in Adobe Photoshop step-by-step tutorial without any stress. But before I dive into the tutorial, if you're very new to this channel, remember to hit on the subscribe, turn on the notification bell, so each time I post content about Photoshop, you'll be notified. So with that being said, let's get started and see how you can create modern business card in Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. So first thing to do is to go to the home tab right here. Make sure you click on File and make sure you click on New. Then for the point here, this is where you need to enter the name of the design. So it's modern business card. Okay, having entered the name of the design, you have to come to the width column right here. Make sure you type in 3.25. And then right here, make sure you choose inches. And then right here, you have to make sure you type in 1.75. Make sure your resolution is 300. And then right here, make sure you choose your color to be CMYK. Then finally, you have to come down below here and make sure you click on Create. Next thing you want to do right here is to press Ctrl minus. This allows you to zoom in to the entire workspace. So next thing you need to do is to drag your ruler, both vertical and horizontal. So I'm going to drag my ruler from vertical and horizontal and make sure it snaps to the page. Next thing you want to do is to go to Image from the home tab right here. Make sure you look for canvas size. And at the point here, make sure you type in 0.25 for the width. And then 0.25 for the height. And make sure your relative is checked. And then make sure you click on OK. Next thing you need to do is to drag your ruler also, both vertical and horizontal, and snap to the page. Next thing you need to do is to go back to the image and canvas size. So this time around, you need to add the blade area 0.25 by 0.25 and make sure you hit on OK. Alright, so we are done with the layout of our modern business card in Photoshop. So next thing we need to do is to make sure we start to play with shapes and color to create a modern design. So first thing to do is to go to our toolbar right here, and at this point here, click and hold down. This time around, you need to choose your rectangle. So when you choose your rectangle, you can come to the shape property from the home tab right here. You can change this to black, change the inner fill color to black, then you can draw your rectangle. Having drawn your rectangle, the next thing you need to do is to go to home tab right here, go to edit. Then from edit, make sure you look for free transform. So you're going to have a stuff like this. Then you can come to the home tab right here. At this point here, make sure you type in 45 degree and press enter key on your keyboard. So you are going to have stuff like this. You can go to your move to and then make sure you click on yes to accept the free transform. So you can now adjust the shape to the top a little bit. So you can go back to the edit right here and look for your free transform right here, free transform, and then you can increase the size of the shape and then adjust it to the top this way, and make sure you hit on the check mark right here to accept the transform. Next thing you want to do is to make a duplicate of this shape. Just come to the image shape layer, right click on the shape layer. This time around, you have to look for duplicate layer at the top right here, duplicate layer. So we can make this shape 2, and you hit on OK. Now for the shape 2 right here, we can walk over it the shape 1, and what we need to do right here is to select the shape 1, and we go to edit from the home tab right here And this time around, we need to choose our free transform or press Ctrl T to bring out free transform. Then you have to drag it at the bottom this way. So you have to come to the first layer, first shape, double click on the layer thumbnail. This allow you to have a color with. Then you can change the color. This will allow you to will be able to differentiate between them. So you have to fall back to the second shape, and then we go to edit, and then we look for transform, or you press Ctrl T on your keyboard. Then we can increase this more larger than this, and we can adjust it here, and we make sure it snap to the edge of the shape at the top right here. Okay, then we can accept the. One more thing we can do here is to go back to the layer background, and when we get to the layer background, we have to go to our toolbar right here. Then we have to right click, and this time around we need to choose our pen tools. Then having to see your pen tools, you need to make sure that you come to the pen tools property here, make sure shape is checked, and then you have to come to the fill. So you can change the fill color, so this allows you to be able to differentiate. Then we can make some parts with our pen tools. So we have a kind of light gray at this point here. So one more thing we can do right here is to press Ctrl plus to zoom out, Ctrl plus to zoom out. Okay, Ctrl plus to zoom out, and Ctrl minus to zoom in. Now, what we can do right here is to fall back to this particular layer. So when you select this layer, you have to come to the first rectangle and make a new layer. So when we make a new layer, we have to fall back to our toolbar right here and click and hold down. This time around, we need to choose our pen tools. Then we have to come to the pen tools property. We can change this color so that we'll be able to differentiate them from the existing shape. Now, what we need to do right here is to make some shape right here. So we can just start from the point here, and we come this way. We come this way, and this way, and this way, this way, and then we make sure we close the part right here. So we just need a tiny shape like this. Then we have to do the same for the other side. So we have to select this particular layer. Then we make a new layer at the top. Then we have to come here also, and we start to create another part this way, and this way, and this way. And then we make sure we close our part right here. So you are going to have a stuff like this, okay? Alright, so at this point here, the next thing we're going to do is to add color to some of this shape to make our design look very much nice. So you have to start from a shape. So I'm going to double click on the second shape right layer. So when you double click on the layer thumbnail, then you have to play around with different color right here. So I'm going to give you a color code for this design. So here is the color code I use for this design. So you can see it right here, and you hit on OK. Then you have to fall back to the second shape right here, and then double click on the layer thumbnail and then change the color also. So for the bottom shape, here is the color code I use right here, okay, and then you just have to hit on OK. Then you have to fall back to this particular shape right here, and then double click on the layer thumbnail to bring out the color. Then you have to change the color also. So this is the color code I use for this. Okay, so you can see the color code right here, and then you hit on OK. So what we're going to do next is to fall back to this particular shape right here, and we need to, okay, we have to fall back to this particular shape, and we have to press the delete key. So we don't need it in that way. So we have to fall back to our shape too, and click and hold down, and then make sure we choose our pen tools this time around. Then we have to fall back to the second shape layer, and we make a new layer. So we can press Ctrl plus just to zoom out. So we can start to make another part from this point here, and Control minus, and then we make sure we take it to this point here and this way, and we have to come down here and we make sure we close our part. Make sure we close our part this way. Okay, so the next thing we can do is to right click on this particular shape, and we have to look for create clipping mask. So we're going to have the stuff like this. Okay, so we can adjust this shape in a proper way. Then we can come to the blend option right here, and we can choose add lights. Then we have to fall back to this particular shape right here, and we come to the blending option, and this time around we choose multiply. Okay. So at this point here, the next thing to do is to add text and icons to our business card. So for you to do that, so you just have to come to the background layer and start to make a type into your business card. Okay.
supposed to feel.